Many Magic the Gathering players ask the question, is it worth it to buy 5 basic lands for $39.99? No, it isn't. Many Magic the Gathering players ask the question, is it worth it to buy 25 basic lands for $159.99? No, it isn't. Many Magic the Gathering players ask the question, is it worth it to buy 10 basic lands for $29.99? No! Many Magic the Gathering players ask the question, is it worth it to buy 50 basic lands for $239.99? Is that one real? That one's real too? They're all real. Okay. So look, I know that 2 years ago, almost to the day in fact, I said that it was worth it to buy Secret Lair basic lands for $29.99. That was in response to the Godzilla lands being offered in full art foil for $29.99. And my reasoning was that specialty basic lands are 100% cosmetic items at this point. Everyone, everywhere can get basic lands pretty much for free or dang near it. And so selling a purely cosmetic item via Secret Lair was, in that sense, superior to selling needed reprints like fetch lands, and even further superior to selling mechanically unique cards. And so I was willing to throw up my hands and say, okay, this is fine. It is just basic lands. Buy them if you want them, don't if you don't. It's freaking Godzilla on a full art foil. No one gets hurt. But now, years later, I've changed my mind. We've had 2 years of Secret Lairs since then. A lot more data and market decisions, products galore, and in reevaluating all of this, I have reached a new conclusion. No. It is not worth it to buy 5 basic lands for $39.99 or even $29.99, and I believe I can prove this using Secret Lair sales as evidence to this claim. But first, a quick word about this video. This video is brought to you by Audible. Start listening with a free 30-day Audible trial and get full access to thousands and thousands of all-you-can-listen audiobooks, original entertainment and podcasts included in the Audible Plus plan. Visit audible.com/TolarianCommunity or text Tolarian Community to 500-500. I absolutely love being able to listen to a good audiobook. I can hear other people's stories and get new ideas. That's why I'm a member of Audible. Audible members get 1 credit every month, good for any title from their entire premium selection. This really does include most of the titles you've been meaning to check out. These titles are then yours forever to listen to as much as you want. You also get full access to their popular Plus catalog, which contains thousands of audiobooks, podcasts, meditations, and fitness tracks. There's even original entertainment and ad-free versions of your favorite shows and series. No credits needed. So what am I listening to currently? I've been listening to Fitness for Every Body by Meg Boggs, an excellent book that helps break the unhealthy assumption that the only way to be fit is to have a supermodel body. She talks about finding joy in our bodies as they are, and the joy of using our bodies to work out. Not to look perfect, but because it can be fun and feels good. Here in 2022, we are all feeling a bit beat up. We've been isolated from each other, have had time to think about who we are and what makes us happy. However you are feeling right now, I find that hearing other people's stories can be helpful, and it makes me feel less alone. So if the way you want to listen to stories is by audiobook, check out Audible. You can try it free for 30 days, and you can get a free copy of the audiobook Fitness for Every Body using my affiliate link. Visit audible.com/TolarianCommunity or text Tolarian Community to 500-500. Thanks again, Audible, for sponsoring this video. Let's start by divorcing the value of Magic the Gathering cards from the value of Secret Lairs. To many, this may seem crazy. After all, Secret Lair Lil Walkers had wildly different cards of value than Secret Lair Pictures of the Floating World. But I want to begin by focusing on what they have in common: the number of cards. Looking throughout the history of Secret Lairs, non-land layers all fall within a pattern. The overwhelming majority have 4 to 5 cards for $29.99 in non-foil or $39.99 in foil. there have of course been deviations from these, especially early on. For example, Showcase Midnight Hunt had 10 cards in it, and is currently the record holder, as far as I can see, for most non-basic land cards in a secret lair. And the average is overwhelmingly 4 or 5 with slight variations, and never having fewer than 3. However, when we look at the history of basic lands that have been offered, there are wild variations. When I did my review of the Godzilla lands, 5 full art foil basics for $29.99, all we had previously had was Eldraine Wonderland, 5 snow-covered basics for $29.99. When I first started to rethink my evaluation on how acceptable this was with Happy Little Gathering, where we received 2 of each basic land for a total of 10, not to mention the bonus throw-in of the Bob Ross basic lands for again the same price as the Godzilla lands. But by the time we got the full text lands, these were offered for the price of $239.99 or $319.99 if you wanted 50, 10 of each. Now you could still buy them for $29.99 or $39.99, but there was something very disorienting about the fact that there were no bulk offers available for any of the basic lands prior, and that here Wizards of the Coast is now asking for hundreds of dollars just for enough basic lands to put into your deck. And this type of bundle was never offered again, perhaps because it highlighted just how expensive getting 10 of each basic land, be they the Arcane lands, the Dracula lands, or the Pixel Snow lands, might be. Now we have a deviation again with Secret Lair Drop Series, the Astrology lands. Here you can get 5 of one basic land, so 5 swamps for example, for $29.99. But that doesn't include an island, a plains, a mountain, a forest. So in a sense you're spending that $29.99 or $39.99 if you want it in foil for just one basic land only 5 times. If you want the island one, that's also $29.99 just for an island, only 5 copies of it. These can also be offered in bulk, but in a different ratio than before, where you can get 25 of a single land. Do you need 25 of a single land? In all honesty, I think the Voracious Reader bundle had it more accurate at 10 of each basic land. 25 is, well, it's a lot. I guess if you're playing monocolor modern, but who's doing that? Anyway, this would be $119 for 25 of the islands or swamps, or I'm guessing the future basic lands that'll be offered. That's in non-foil, but then the foil price is a huge uptick at $159.99. One reason I'm changing my mind about basic lands is that when Secret Lairs first arrived, we didn't really know what to make of them. What cards would be included? How far would the art styles deviate from the norm of Magic cards? How often would Secret Lairs be released? What were their boundaries? What patterns would emerge? So, having only looked at 2 basic land drops at the point of the Godzilla lands, I was able to conclude one thing then, but having now seen years more of data, another thing today. So yes, I have often said that a basic island is printed on the same thing as Jace the Mind Sculptor, a piece of cardboard. But when looking at Secret Lairs, I think that we kind of have to meet Wizards of the Coast on their own terms, which is that a Jace the Mind Sculptor is worth more than a basic island. They have demonstrated this in their products, in the selection of cards that are reprinted in those products. And if they are going to establish this as fact, then they can't turn around and say selling you 4 to 5 reprints in a Secret Lair is the same as selling you 5 basic lands. It's one way or the other, Wizards of the Coast, so unless you want to start saying, sure, we can actually put fetch lands and battle bond lands inside of every commander precon, which I know you don't want to do, then you do have to give a little for all you've taken, which is to say, if you are going to sell basic lands in a Secret Lair, you are going to divorce them from that 4 to 5 for $29.99, $39.99 template. Just getting 5 basic lands is incredibly frustrating because many Magic the Gathering players, in fact, I'll say most Magic the Gathering players, want to replace the entire mana base with matching basics. They don't want just one special pixel art snow mountain. They want all of the snow mountains in their snow-covered deck to match. And so by selling just 5 at $29.99, you're asking an incredible amount of money for what is, again, the most basic of lands. The real secret layer that I want to look at is heads I win, tails you lose. Here we were given a complete commander deck of 100 cards, all in foil, many of which featured double-sided art, full art, and certainly a lot of really valuable reprints. The price on this was $99.99, or essentially $100 for 100 cards in foil. And again, these are not basic lands. These have value. Some of them have special printing techniques. And more than anything, if Wizards of the Coast can offer 100 foil cards in a commander deck with reprints, losing reprint equity in doing so, then why can't a more stable basic land package be offered in Secret Lairs? At $1 per card, which is what they sold them at with that commander deck, you could offer 50 basic lands for $49.99 essentially. With 50 lands, that means you would have 10 of each. Most players are just going to need 10 of each, as they're probably not running monocolor, and if they are, they can buy an additional one or look to trade with someone. Imagine if, with each new basic land or snow-covered land unveiled, you're essentially able to buy a land station of sorts, where for $50 you get 10 of each basic. And I am not proposing something outrageous here. I've gotten a lot of heat in the past when I've said things like fetch lands should be inside of Commander precons. Well, this isn't that. Because again, we have seen 100 cards, in foil no less, sell for $100. So why not 50 basic lands for $50? You know, I've heard a lot of people say recently that every Secret Lair review from me is the same. Buy it if you want, don't if you don't. Well, obviously that broad sentiment is true for any hobby. I'd like to think my Secret Lair analysis tries to cut through the aesthetic appreciation only perspective and look to the actual financial value and playability of the cards offered. Even if your motivation is not based purely on finance, knowing the value that you are getting for your money is, if nothing else, helpful. When looking at basic lands in a Secret Lair, it just felt like a given, or perhaps a wash. I mean, they have no real value beyond the aesthetic, so aren't you just buying the aesthetic? Isn't whatever that price is fair for aesthetic only and no financial backing in terms of function of the card? But as I see more and more Secret Lairs released, and more evidence builds up through those Secret Lair releases, then I feel more and more that by Wizards of the Coast's own established pricing, what they offer in other Secret Lairs and have offered consistently now for years there, and of course in their regular product line, is that they are indeed not offering a fair deal on specialty Secret Lair lands. They can do better. They have done better, demonstrated that they can do better through prior Secret Lairs. So in that sense, I hope very much they reevaluate their pricing structure in regards to these types of Secret Lairs. But now I want to hear from you. Do you agree with my assessment? Do you buy Secret Lair lands? Do you feel satisfied when you do? And how much should basic lands via Secret Lairs cost? Let me know in the comments below. Hey, special thanks once again to Audible for sponsoring this video. Remember, if the way you want to listen to stories is by audiobook, check out Audible. You can try it free for 30 days, and you can get a free copy of the audiobook Fitness for Everybody using my affiliate link, or just use that credit on whatever title you like. Visit audible.com/TolarianCommunity or text Tolarian Community to 500 500.